I've been working at the Minnesota Zoo for almost 15 years now, working with our 3 northern sea otters, which actually were rescued at the Alaska SeaLife Center as well, about 16 and 17 years ago. So I've had the honor to work with them and learn about their care and be able to bring that expertise here and be able to learn a little bit more about the younger pups and how to hand raise them. It's 24-hour care. We are on site watching them at all times, taking care of them, grooming them just like their mother would in a different way. Obviously not teaching them all the skills that they need to survive, but being able to take care of them and help them learn how to groom and help them with their bottle feeding and teach them how to eat solid food and help them swim and learn all those skills.
I don't know how sea otter moms do it. I think they're super moms. And so when we have to come in and step in as mom, it is intense. For the younger otter, coming into us at just a day old, we were feeding her every 2 hours, around the clock, 24 hours a day. And so we were taking blood glucoses just to make sure that she was processing the formula right, and taking her temperature every 2 hours and bottle feeding. So kind of the day-to-day or the hour-by-hour routine for an otter at that age is to wake them up from a nap, to place them in the water so that they can have a bowel movement and urinate. And then we will go into bottle feeding, and then we'll let them have a little bit of playtime, whether that's in the water or just on the deck with some enrichment. And then we groom them with a hairdryer and a comb, and then they go right back down for a nap, and then we repeat the process all over again.
So unlike other marine mammals like cetaceans or seals and sea lions, sea otters don't have that big, thick blubber layer of fat to keep them insulated and warm in the water. They depend on having a really nice, thick, waterproof coat to keep them warm and dry while they're swimming around out here in the frigid Alaskan waters. And part of being able to keep that coat in proper waterproofing is a really intensive grooming process that adult sea otters do every day throughout the day. And that's something that the pups have to learn from either their parents or in human care from their human caregivers. And before they've learned that, we have to help them with that. So there's a lot of grooming sessions throughout the day, towel drying, working with them, getting them used to having their coats handled, brushing, hair drying, just trying to keep the coats in as good of condition as possible, the way mom would for these pups if they were being raised by their mom in the wild.
From the get-go, we're building our relationships. We are right there with them, keeping all those experiences positive and teaching them that we're a part of their day-to-day life and how to make it less stressful for both parties in hand and make it easier to give them the best care possible. We started to teach the sea otters how to do what we call a training session. So interact with cooperative care to come up on deck so we can get a good look at their coat. We need to groom it, need to towel it off. We also train them for living at a different facility. Like these guys are gonna be living in the facility for the rest of their life because they were orphaned and they don't have the ability to care for themselves in the ocean. So we are teaching them how to move from place to place, how to follow us, how to let us look them over and make sure they're healthy.
Well, we've been lucky to work here with the experienced staff at Alaska SeaLife Center. They've been doing the heavy lifting up until this point. Anytime an animal strands or needs to come into wildlife rehabilitation, they're probably coming in with some health problems. And so that's what the Alaska SeaLife Center has been managing, making sure they're getting these pups as healthy as possible before they make the big trek down to Minnesota Zoo. A lot of our marine mammals are naturally infected with parasites that can cause them problems. So those are one of the first things that we look for and want to treat. And that's one of the things that we'll be managing for the sea otter pups, is getting them all cleared up of a couple different parasites that are not unexpected in sea otters. Other things we see often are anemia, so a low red blood cell count that these 2 girls came in with that have been managed and will continue to be managed, and just maintaining liver health in them as well. Kind of all the typical sea otter baby problems that we'll have to stay on top of.